Hello, I'm David Chaston with 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz. This week, get everything you need to know in 90 seconds at 9 o'clock. We're news that some economic presumptions are being challenged today. But first, in the US, the closely watched Labour Market Conditions Index published by the Fed rose unexpectedly and much more strongly than it was expected for July, after falls in the previous 6 months. In Europe, after some experience with negative interest rates, the conclusion is that the rationale for them is wrong. Low or negative rates don't encourage consumers to spend because they have more disposable income, quite the opposite. The signal is to consumers that their savings can't earn anything, and from that they need to save more capital for retirement. Low or negative interest rates reduce consumption, increase savings, just the opposite of what policymakers want to achieve. In staying in Europe, just how problematic bank capital has become there is highlighted in a European Banking Authority report recommending that banks should have a minimum of 3% capital. That is, a maximum leverage of an eye-watering 33 times. And don't forget, they're saying they need to impose the standard as an improvement on what they have now. We may have problems in New Zealand with too much bank leverage, but they pale compared with what the Europeans have. In Australia, concerns are surfacing about the link between big infrastructure sales and Chinese espionage. New South Wales' privatisation of their state grid is likely to get vetoed because a Chinese buyer has been implicated in about 60 cyber attacks on Australian infrastructure networks in the past year. And staying in Australia, their biggest bank, who is publicly claiming their margins are under pressure, is set to reveal a record profit of $9.5 billion for the year. Analysts say $10 billion is likely next year. Future margin pressure complaints are a perennial line banks push before announcing their results, which are often at record levels, and this year is no different. In New York, US Treasury 10-year yield is unchanged today at 1.58%. The US benchmark oil price is up $1.50 today, now over $43 a barrel, and the Brent benchmark is over $45 a barrel. Low crude prices have brought a cut in petrol and diesel pump prices in China, the third this year. The gold price is marginally lower at $1,334 an ounce. The New Zealand dollar is basically unchanged from this time yesterday at 71.4 US cents, 93.3 Aussie cents and 64.5 Euro cents. The TWI is at 74.5. I'm David Chaston. That was 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz.